Okay, welcome to the SINCA online debate session. And today we will do one debate for sure. And the second half, since the number of participants is very lopsided for Olympics, and well, for the first one as well, but we'll just do the UBI debate. And before we get to that, I would like a team to get together. Or do you need time to get together, or are you ready? UBI teams? If you're ready, we'll just start.
I think we are ready, Gak-san.
Okay,
UBI.
let's, yeah.
We are ready.
Yeah, okay, let's then, let us start. UBI affirmative side can take over, and whoever is going to speak for 7 minutes. Go ahead.
Share the screen.
Okay.
Can I share the screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me start.
Yeah.
We are a team of affirmative group for UBI, Universal Basic Income.
Yeah.
And our definition, first, I would like to define what UBI means. And here is our definition of UBI. It's a governmental public program, and we assume that the source of necessary budget includes our pension, livelihood protection, administrative costs as well. So which means that we are also, UBI, introduction of UBI also requires pension reform as well as a livelihood protection reform as well. And it would be a periodic payment from government and it's delivered to all citizens, to everybody. And this UBI does not require any qualifications for the payment. So it's an unconditional payment to all the citizens. So
yeah, I guess those who don't have any idea of what livelihood protection fund is, it's Seika Sogo.
Yes.
Okay.
So these are basic definition of our UBI. And next, the merits and the reasons. We deem there are many merits and reasons to introduce UBI in Japanese government system, because it will function as a safety net, and it's stipulated in our constitution as a constitution living assurance rights. It will also cut down negative cycle of poverty in our society. And it will also provide basic life assurance to enhance everybody's challenge. And also it will establish an inclusive, a strong society. The society which creates diversity and brings much growth for economy. And also it will strengthen potential social powers against disasters or pandemic or other massive scale menace to us. And the not only us, but the other specialists also support basic income ideas. According to Weekly Economist, Professor Heizo Takenaka also suggests that young generation would live much longer than our generation, and they might have to change their jobs during their lifetime, and that would require recurrent education. So in such a case, basic income would function as the ultimate safety net, he says. And the other specialists, like a brain scientist, Mr. Kenichiro Mogi, says that if we are always busy for making our ends meet, we would not be able to think deeply about our future and acquire necessary knowledge and skills. So basic income could be considered as investment for growth and creativity. Creativity function for our brain. So several specialists also support the notion of basic income. So we would like to support this notion of universal basic income.
Okay. Yeah. You still have 30 seconds. If
Okay, anybody
wants to add.
anything to add? Specialists also support the notion of basic income. So we would like to support this notion of universal basic income.
Okay. You still have 30 seconds. If
okay, anybody
wants to add.
anything to add?
Okay, if not, let's go into the UBI negative. Who would make an argument, initial argument for to oppose
Yes,
universal basic income? Yeah, go ahead.
So
okay, go ahead.
Start. We opposed the idea that UBI should adopt in Japan because of the following three reasons. We will explain these reasons by the three members of our group.
Okay.
To begin with that, I'll explain the first reason. It is significantly difficult to secure financial resources for UBI continuously in Japan. According to the Ministry of Finance, about 32% of total revenue is for government bonds, and about 35% of total expenditure is for social security, and about 23% of total expenditure is for national debt. We think there is no room to issue more government bonds in order to cover additional costs for UBI, because it is clear that highly dependent on national debt would become a burden on future generations. And next, when we think about relocating the existing budget for UBI, it would be possible to secure about 1/3 of total cost for UBI, as mentioned by the two Japanese economists, Yasushi Harada and Tomohiro Inoue. But the rest of the cost for UBI needs to be covered by increasing tax revenues. Next. In order to increase tax revenues, the government can raise income tax and inheritance tax, corporation tax. As for raising income tax and inheritance tax, it would affect the Japanese society badly from a long-term perspective, because people in a wealthy class will leave Japan and highly skilled workers will not come to Japan. As for raising corporation tax, there is a risk to decrease the revenue in the near future because many companies try to transfer their headquarters from Japan to other countries, which impose lower tax on them. As for raising consumption tax, it would be impossible to cover the cost for UBI, even if consumption tax will be raised by 24% according to the article we cited. And as I explained, securing financial resources for UBI is very difficult, and adopting UBI would be negative legacy for Japanese future due to financial pressure.
Okay.
On this slide, let me claim based on fairness. First, if we provide a UBI to all of us, is it necessary? Is it fair? Because it includes high income earners and non-tax payers who don't even apply for jobs. So our budget is limited, as we mentioned. So we should spend money on people who really need support, such as unpaid care workers who need to take care of their families. As the aging society has been growing and will be growing, we should consider this. Second thing is the regional differences. Price level is different in each region, and income level also is different. So if we provide UBI, so we should consider this. At least the amount of UBI should be different in each region. We expect effectiveness team will consider this in the final proposal later. The third thing is we already have social security system, which is fair. So we already have a system, so we should utilize them. We know there is a lot of room improvement for it. Yes, we should improve it. That's our proposal. We think this is better because if we implement UBI, it will cause big confusion. So many of us remember the confusion when the government decided to implement 100,000 yen cash handout in April due to coronavirus. So therefore, we think in the existing system improvement is better than UBI. Next slide, please. Mai-san, next slide, please. Gak-san, yours.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I would argue from the viewpoint of value of working. Japan is already suffering so much with labor scarcity to obtain enough workforce to run businesses. Total number of productive age in Japan has kept declining, and in next 10 years, we will lose 6 million more, and working age population will be less than the current number of workers. With UBI, the situation will surely worsen. In many statistics, including Japan's Cabinet Office, the highest reason to work is to gain income. If cost of living is fully or partially provided by UBI, many people can choose not to work or only to work short time. Less workers just cannot sustain Japan's industries and services, especially those with actual presence at the spot, like medical care, construction, hotels, and restaurants. We cannot expect AI and robots to fully run those industries at least in next 10 years. Besides labor scarcity, self-realization through working is also very important. Next to gain income, people answered self-realization as purposes to work, like to find something to live for, to exercise my ability. Each individual cannot achieve self-realization in a few years. People need to keep working for years rather than to quit easily. UBI is likely to have a negative impact on motivation of to work and develop themselves.
Okay.
It concludes negative team argument. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I think you just used up 7 minutes. So I will open up the